welcome to the second and final episode.
You know what bullshit that I'm dealing with right now?
What?
Fucking one of my coworkers just called me like 5 minutes ago, and he's got 3 stops left, but he locked his keys in his trunk of his car.
And the trunk.
Jesus Christ.
And the people that unlock your car for you, whatever, they can't come out until 8 a.m. and it's currently 2 a.m.
So he's standing there with the stuff in his hands.
No, he's got it in his car.
He can't pop the trunk of his car from inside the car without his key.
His car's locked. He locked
He
himself
locked
out of his car.
He locked the whole car,
But
and then I
yeah.
guess closed the
Is
trunk
he asking you to come get his stuff, or is he just like, I can't do the run until 8 a.m.?
He's just letting me know that it's gonna be late, and it's like
It's gonna be late.
A little bit. Hey, at least he didn't get into an accident. At least it's still gonna get
Yeah.
delivered, and you don't have to go get it.
yeah. And I
Could
was
be
like,
worse.
is there any chance you have their phone numbers so you can like let them know that you're gonna be late? He's like, no, and the phone number's on the paper in the car.
And then he says, also, I don't. My phone is locked in the car too. You're like, then how are you talking to me?
Yeah.
He just hangs up on you. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like I probably like I
Just panic
could.
throws the phone.
He's
I
like
don't.
playing video games at home.
Yeah.
Like there's a part of it. It's like I probably should drive down and just fuck. What would I be able to do though? Everything's locked in his fucking car. There's nothing I can do. It's not like I can deliver it
Give
for
a
him.
good bash to his window, take the stuff, and say, "See you later, nerd."
You could try one of the
take
door
out the
unlock
frustration.
things, like the little
yeah.
mini things.
Those pop lock things.
But you don't know how to do that, so I guess it's like
You can stand next to him and be like, "So."
keep trying to do that. That's why everyone should have a Subaru Forester. It has mechanisms to avoid locking your keys in your car.
I thought you were gonna try and advertise that. What is that one car your grandfather had?
Oh, the Geo.
Yeah, you can just take the door off. Just give it a little kick, and it falls right off.
Yeah, you could probably rip it off.
Yeah.
That thing's cheap enough. It could. Oh, I fucking love that car. I gotta get one, man. They're so fucking cheap. Oh my god. Just buy one, drive it across the country.
Oh, what you call it? There were 3. If we're not like doing the outside stuff, I was gonna let Steve like take the lead on that one. I was gonna like, go off of it.
You lead.
Like the only interesting outdoor thing that I've been doing lately is going for walks along the Androscoggin River, and I got a longboard, which is pretty cool. I was gonna come.
Maine nature is sexy as shit.
It is. It's amazing.
Just driving it through it is like, I just want to stop and
I have
just
all these
stand. I just want to like hug the ground and be like, oh, why do you look so good?
There's a few mountains I've been looking into that we're gonna hike up, and then there's a few beaches we're gonna check out as well. So like this summer should be interesting. The beaches have been closed, so we haven't been able to do that.
I still really want you guys to come out here so you can see like big mountains,
Nothing.
sort of thing.
See just a bunch
Oh yeah,
of nothing.
like just big like mountains where they're just like, fuck you, you're not gonna climb me, you fucking.
Yeah. Mountains that you actually have to train to climb up and shit like that.
Yeah, I
Every
can't
time
wait to come over there just to climb that shit with you.
When I
That'd be awesome.
Google when I
That's my
Google
tag.
Colorado, it's just like it doesn't do it for me. It's the type of terrain that's just.
Ooh, you gotta be
Are you
there.
Googling, send me a picture right now of what you think Colorado looks like.
Okay.
The pictures that you've taken, Tyler, are fucking gorgeous, and I wouldn't trade what Maine has for Colorado, but I can see they have
they're both different types
cool
of beauty.
but different. Yeah.
Like Colorado is like gigantic mountains and like beautiful forests spread out across the land. Like Maine has Maine actually has more forests, but it has awesome lakes and fucking the shore and everything. So they're like both beautiful, but in like their own different ways. Colorado also has like incredible coloring, where it's like it's got the orange rock with like the green trees and shit like that. So it looks like it clashes very well.
I think I was wrong.
You're starting to see it now. You're like, I think I was looking at the wrong state.
So this picture is the only thing I could find that was sort of what I was picturing, without the river in the middle.
It's the Grand Canyon.
But
and the canyons out here.
Yeah, so I was picturing canyons. I don't know why I keep picturing canyons, because I'm seeing a lot of pictures that are not canyons.
We are right next to Utah, and Utah is like a canyon state, and there are some awesome fucking canyons in Utah. I really want to go there
'Cause
eventually.
I am seeing a lot of green too. I don't picture green when I think Colorado, but apparently there's a lot of green.
There is mostly in the springtime. Like right now, it's amazingly green. By the time it hits September, or around the end of September, it's not as green. And then winter through about May.
It like just got green here. It like has been brown for so long, and in the mud season, and then just like exploded. And now like
Yeah.
my front yard, my willow tree branches are like in front of my. I have to drive through them to get out of my driveway and everything. You know, and it's like no one can see into my yard. It's like I don't even need a fence. What am I talking about? It was amazing. It was just trees everywhere, man. What was I gonna say about shit? Oh yeah, I keep like when I'm driving, I've been driving a lot slower on my routes because well, one, the sun's up, so I can actually see what's happening, and two, because I've been doing landscaping and yard stuff and trying to like build stuff for my house. I'm trying to see what other people are doing. So like I'm looking at everyone else's projects, like with their livestock and like construction projects, and because everyone does stuff around the same time here in Maine. As soon as like this is the season for building shit, you know what I mean? Because it's not raining as much anymore and everything. So like the other day I almost got into an accident because I was like staring at someone's goat farm, trying to figure out what they were doing, and I almost drove into traffic. Anyway, but no, yeah.
But yeah, I was wondering when it comes to like the topics and stuff like that. There was two things I was wondering if you guys are interested in, that I've been thinking about quite a lot lately, as well as the thing that Tyler's talking about, like the modern MMO. The problem with the modern MMO topic is I feel like I should be more awake. Like maybe if Tyler starts talking about his points that he was thinking about, it would click some things for me, because that's a really, really strong topic for me. But right now it's just like my brain's like dirt because I'm really tired.
Well,
same. But
I didn't think I'd have anything to say, and here I am.
The two things I was wondering if you guys are interested in talking about them, or if we should even do it over a podcast, or if we should do it offline, is one, D&D. Like I was talking to Tyler about like possibly doing D&D every other week. I don't know if Connor's interested or whatnot. But apparently
probably not available at night though.
Yeah, that's like what I was thinking.
If the three of us want to do it, I would love to just play like a classic game.
See, I've never actually gotten into any D&D campaign. It's always like either we don't continue or somebody's just like ruining the entire experience, yada yada yada. Like last time I played with a group of people that I felt like I would really enjoy it, because their personalities, everyone was super cool and all that. But then I found out that they were hardcore role players, and they weren't okay with me not role playing. I was like, "Can I just ease into it?" They're like, "No, you have to have a voice. You can't just use your regular voice." I'm like, "Well, I'm not good at that. Can I ease into it?" And there's only like one person that was like, "Yeah, let him just figure it out. Like he'll get it." And everyone was like, "That's no fun. He's gonna ruin it." And it's like,
hey, at least they weren't like being dicks about the rules, and like were they at least letting you be imaginative and
that
stuff?
was the thing is, okay, so with the rules I told them, hey, I'm a new player, is that okay? Me and Kelsey were both playing, and I was like, we're both very new players, like I have an idea and Kelsey has zero idea, is that okay? I guess they're like, oh yeah, we love playing with new players, we'll teach you everything. And then like every time I asked a question, they're just like, look it up in the book, and then like I'm like, all right, well, let me look it up in the book, and I'm looking it up in the book, and they continue the storyline. And then I'm not even hearing the storyline because I'm looking it up in the book. And then when something happens, they're like, wait, what do you mean you don't know what's going on? You weren't listening? I was like, I was looking up the fucking rules that I was asking the question about 5 minutes ago. And it was just, it wasn't fun. Like, that's every experience for me is something like that. The time before that, I played with a group of people that I worked with at Sam's Club, back when I worked at Sam's Club. And one of the guys, he was like a veteran D&D player. He knew the ins and outs of everything, and he made his character broken as fuck. He didn't play something that he enjoyed playing. He just played the most powerful thing he could possibly do. And I'm doing like 3 or 4 damage or whatever, and he's doing like 36 damage, and we just started. I'm like, how the hell are you doing 36 damage? You're one-shotting the bosses. That ruined that playthrough, and nobody wanted to play with him. But it was we were all doing it in his house, and he was like, it just I never had good experiences
with picking up a new module and like fleshing it out and everything.
That's the thing that slows me down with D&D is every time I already have a hard enough time putting the rules in my head of a module we're trying. Like even just fucking 5E we were playing last, Tyler.
Yeah.
I can't fucking remember the rules of that because I just learned the fucking rules to the last thing we were playing, and then before that, it's another thing.
I have the.
So
Well,
don't know.
I prefer sticking to 5e because it's like the newest one.
I have the.
I'm fine with 5e. Is that what you mean by module when you're saying that?
No, module means module is a campaign that the people who made D&D make for you.
Oh, I
So
see.
that-
You follow something. Okay, well that works.
Yeah,
For me. You want
like
to DM?
yeah. Salt of Salt Marsh. Not Salt. Is it? Give me a second. Ghosts of Salt Marsh.
Didn't we do something with that with Connor?
Yeah, that was the module we were playing last.
Where I played that centaur robot.
No. That was Starfinder, I think, wasn't it, or something?
No,
like
that
Starfinder.
centaur robot was like the one we played with Charlotte, where
Oh yeah.
she was a stabby rogue demon thing, and you were like a crazy psychic man that. Yeah.
No,
I was-
Ghost of Salt Marsh.
And I was basically a paladin who didn't go very well with the group, and fucking,
Oh, was it?
you were
Don't bring that up.
both
I don't want you to start crying.
bad memories. You hurt me so bad.
Ghost of Salt Marsh is the one where you and Connor were the kobold, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were kobolds. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what that was. So that's one of the modules. That's a module from 5e. So I can pick up another module so that you have something different from that, or if you guys just want to do Ghost of Salt Marsh. But
That's fun. I
you kind of already know the beginning of that, Steve.
I
When
don't
it comes
care
to
either way.
When it comes to what we do, I'll leave that up to you guys because I don't really.
A new module would be fine. I just didn't want to learn new rules.
I do have
Yeah.
I did buy the
Yeah.
books though, and I think about the newer ones, whatever's the newer ones. I think it's what you're talking about.
5e, yeah.
Yeah, and I actually bought like it was actually.
Why
quite
did you buy the
expensive.
books? You can get them
Um,
for free.
So we were at a D&D store
I bought the
checking
books
out
too.
stuff, and we were gonna be
Yeah.
playing D&D, and me and Kelsey were like, this was like a few months ago. We were like, well, we're gonna play D&D. Everyone says that we probably should have the stuff. It's right here. They have a deal if you bundle everything together. And worst case scenario, if we don't end up playing, I'll give it to the boys as like a gift.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And that's my plan, is to give it to them eventually when they're not living with Dad.
And Tyler can give it to his kids.
So
Fuck that.
so I have them sitting
Play
in my living
D&D till I
room.
die.
Buy your own damn books.
Yeah.
So there's a D&D character that that I've been in the mood to play because like it doesn't exist in my MMOs, and it's quite simple, honestly. It's basically a earthbender from Avatar that is a dwarf that uses a hammer, but the earth magic he only uses for like utility and stuff like that. So
Kind of like the.
Hmm?
Go ahead. Kind of like the one dude from was it Goblin Slayer? The
haven't
dwarf
watched-
from that.
I haven't watched Goblin Slayer yet.
And his name is Bonkus Earth Smasher.
Oh, I have been fucking kicking ass on Full Metal Alchemist though. We're like on episode 42, I think.
Nice, you're close to done.
We got really into it. Like we got past that third episode, we were like, this is good.
Yeah.
Once you get past the bad episodes, you're good.
It's because they introduce people and they make it so fucking
the
cringy
character
early
building
on.
the character building is very well done.
Mhm.
Like I really like your
How
hamster
do-
now.
How do you feel about it now? Like do you have a favorite character or a favorite character that may not be with us anymore or anything like that?
Well, I was saying I really like Tyler's character, Tyler's hamster.
Tyler's hamster.
Winry.
Oh, Winry.
Yeah, Winry's awesome.
She's so
the
she doesn't-
the
I don't
main
know. I guess
characters-
she's kind of sad.
The main characters, Ed and Al, are both awesome. Like, I have a hard time in animes liking the main characters usually. I'm like, they're usually kind of annoying, honestly. But I do like, I like Ed a lot, and like Al's fucking cool, but I like Ed a lot. And then what's his name? Zinling. I don't know if I'm.
I know what
I'm
you
like-
mean. The prince from
Yeah, the prince that went. That's currently where I'm at. Currently bad because he's taken over. His body's taken over.
Yeah, because Greed took
Yeah.
him over. That's
but
why I
I
don't
haven't
fucking
seen
remember his name.
Yeah.
Because
I
You
liked
become-
him and Fan Lao or whatever, the girl that could like sense
Yeah.
the homunculuses and stuff like that had the mask on that lost her arm. I like her and Zin. I don't know if I remember their names right, but I like those two.
Lin
They were-
Yao is the guy.
Mm-hmm. And it's Fan
Uh,
something or something Fan.
Oops. She's not within like the first
Mm.
page of it. It lists Nina Tucker before fucking the other girl.
Yeah.
Damn it.
No, they just both started really growing on me, and then fucking Greed took over. I'm like, shit.
Oh,
Tucker.
Mei Chang.
What was it?
Mei
Tucker.
Chang. Oh, Lan Fan.
Lan
The
Fan.
one
Lan
who
Fan. I was like,
becomes-
I thought it was Fan something. Or yeah, Lan
Yeah,
Fan.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah, so Lan Fan and you said what was the guy? again?
Ling Yao.
Lin Yao. So yeah, Lin Yao and Lan Fan. Okay. It's hard to remember those names.
Lan Fan at least rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. I can remember Xin Yao.
See, from
League. And Kelsey loves a fucking Armstrong.
I love Armstrong
That's
too.
my favorite character.
Yeah.
He's what I want to be when I grow up.
I remember the one with Armstrong and then the teacher's husband when they. I'll look at them.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but
Just
like where they
husband.
hold hands and they're like, yeah, we're both muscular men.
I don't. I don't know. I am watching Brotherhood. I don't know if that scene happened in
Their
Brotherhood.
shirts explode
No,
off.
that happens in Brotherhood.
It does?
definitely.
Okay.
I'm
I'm looking forward to that. I don't think I saw that yet.
I'll send you. They like
I
stare at
love
each other for a
Yeah.
little bit, and then they're like, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I did. I don't know. But yeah, Kelsey loves those. Like it's like, where did shirt go? Like, so I'm trying to think of any other characters that like really grew on us.
I've always been a fan of Colonel Mustang. Just from
Mustang's
childhood.
cool. Yeah.
Oh, wrong.
And obviously, fucking the officer that died. What's his name?
Yes, everyone. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone loves.
That was my original favorite,
Yeah.
but then Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong's cool. What's his name? Because of the H, I think, right?
Yeah, it does begin with an H. He doesn't show up immediately. What the fuck?
He's definitely a main character.
Yeah, he definitely is like someone who's noteworthy.
Yeah.
Maybe he's everyone's favorite because he died before he could disappoint anyone.
I gotta rewatch it. Like I only watched it like maybe a year and rewatched it for like the 10th time like a year and a half ago.
For the
And
10th
like
time.
I don't understand how you can rewatch stuff so often, Tyler. Holy crap, man.
it's good shit. And
Have you
also like when I say rewatch, I mean leave it on in the background
Yeah.
and stuff doing other
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so
I feel like
completely
anime is
different.
it's really easy to do that with anime in general.
What? Well, I don't. Oh, yeah, I don't listen to.
No,
I don't
doing
do
dubbed.
and stuff.
Yeah. Like, because I like anime for the
It takes
for
you
the
so long to get through
visuals,
any anime.
just like the visuals. So like I'll be playing an MMO on the left screen, I have an anime on the right screen I've already seen before, and it's just like relaxing.
Yeah. Tyler, have you gone back and actually watched JoJo but not dubbed?
I've not gotten to that point.
Okay. Oh, you didn't rewatch it dubbed at all, or did you switch to it?
I haven't even switched to it. I'm still
Yeah,
on the first
it didn't
season.
seem-
It's taking me a little while.
That's the third season. I think you're ahead of us. Shit. Rachel, where are we at in JoJo?
What? I'm on the first season. I said first.
Oh. Yeah, it's like we're on the second season, third arc, or whatever it is. I keep thinking we're like already on a new season. There's so much happens.
Hughes,
Each
by the way,
episode-
is the name of that one guy.
What is
okay. What's the Rachel?
Hughes.
Hughes. It's not even a hard name to remember. What the fuck is wrong
Yeah,
with
yeah.
That's not a common name either. That's probably why.
me? Yeah.
But we're all probably tired.
I'm fucking exhausted.
I didn't expect to actually get on because I was so tired.
The third topic that I was like interested if you guys wanted to talk about. I've been really thinking about it a lot, but I don't know if we should talk about it like and record it over the podcast. Is the Machinima? Are you guys interested in actually doing a big project like
I'm
that?
very interested in doing an animatic.
Yeah, some kind of like it doesn't have to be within a video game. Like you don't have to use a video game to do it like a Machinima would be. It could be as animated as we could do. The problem is none of us are animators. I would love
Well,
like
it's basically like a comic. An animatic is more like a comic book,
okay.
like a slideshow kind of thing, where like,
Yeah.
but like more scenes happening. Or we could just do a comic. I could just do a comic book. If you want to do your thing,
I don't know
you're
how
talking about
I don't know how I
using,
want to do it.
using 3D models that are already like from an engine.
Yeah.
We could do.
Like already made. Like,
Have you
what's
ever
it called?
seen The Life and Times of Tim?
No.
No.
It's a really shitty show, but it's like it's incredibly it's funny, but like it's incredibly badly animated. I suggest looking up an episode sometime and watching it.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah,
could do
definitely
something
check
like
it out.
that.
I love that shit. Did you check out what I posted in the general chat? The animation,
No, I
the
didn't.
big top burger stove.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's kind of like that. No, no, you don't have to watch it now, but check it out sometime.
I'm
Yeah,
just staring
I'll
at
check
the
this out.
fire.
I've been watching a lot of Nixium. He's a WoW YouTuber that started with Machinima, and he's been doing a lot of life advice lately on his podcast and
Like
on his
life pro
Twitch.
tips or like
Just yeah, like how
stupid.
like he doesn't ever hit that whole burnout. He's been doing. He's like 29, I think, and he's been doing this since he was in middle school, and he's never really hit a burnout because he's really good at just like changing things up or thinking about things a certain way. And like if someone like makes fun of him or something, he just like makes fun of that guy back. Like he doesn't ever take it personally or anything like that. And he's been giving life advice of how he does that, how he got started, what keeps him motivated when things aren't going, how does he kind of reset, stuff like that. And his podcast originally was the Two Nerds podcast. It still currently is, but on the last episode, they're like, you know what? It's him and Krendor, which is another WoW YouTuber. And they're like, you know what? We've like the last 3 episodes, we've been doing life advice and shit like that. And like Nixium got me into reading. Like he actually motivated me to be like, you know what? I'm gonna start reading like 30 minutes a day. And it's just like it helps you meditate. It helps your mind just focus on something without thinking about life and all these things. And like video games are different. It's a different type of meditation.
Yeah, you think about someone else's life.
But yeah, like I always use video games, and people are always like, well, reading is good because it teaches you things and it distracts you. And I'm like, well, videos teach me things and video games distract me, so I don't need to read. But Nixium's like he explained it. It's like a meditation, and it teaches you that focus, and your brain can't really do that with other forms of entertainment. So, and there's a reason. There's a reason that people that are successful, millionaires, presidents, things like that. There's a reason they usually read for 20 minutes or so before they go to sleep every night. It really helps the brain when it comes to thinking certain ways and meditating and focusing and stuff.
Well, it's like it's a process of information. Like when you're watching a video, there are certain points where you don't really process that information, so it doesn't really stick with you.
Yeah.
Like reading, when you read on a subject, like I read on, one of the books I'm reading right now is a psychology book in which it pertains to like how people who suggest that they have paranormal abilities, how the psychology of that works and everything, and all that sort of stuff. So like that kind of stuff I remember, and I remember like the how that all works. But if someone told me that in a video, I'm gonna get it like 10 minutes later.
Well, I actually have an issue when it comes to reading. I've always, in school as a kid, I always skimmed, and I got really, really good at skimming. And when I had to do research projects, I would use Spark Notes and I would skim that, get the main information, and pass the tests. And I just like did everything I could to not read. So now when I sit down and read, I have a hard time taking in the information because my brain wants to keep going. So I'll just follow the lines, and like I'm reading, but my brain isn't reading. Like I'm elsewhere. My brain is somewhere else. I'm like thinking about something that happened yesterday, and I'm going through and I flip the next page and I'm like, wait, I don't even know what I just read, and I have to go back and do it again. Because
that happened to me too.
I think for me at least, I wouldn't say that reading itself is the meditative part. Actually, I think pretty much absorbing any information that is something for your mind to really like work over and give a shit about. The time after, I think, is the meditative time. You know what I mean? Like reading before bed is good because you finish reading and then you're not bombarding yourself with the next thing. Like when I'm watching videos, the reason why I don't absorb information is because I'm always going on to the next video. I don't sit there and mull over what I just listened to.
Oh, like the reflection of
yeah, the reflection period is the part that's most important.
Yeah.
When I listen to a book for 4 hours in my car when I'm driving, yeah, I get what happened in the story, but it's much less impactful than if I take a break every hour and just sit there and think about it.
Yeah. So when I read, I actually read for 10 pages, and then I stop and take a break for 10 minutes. And I consider that like the reflective period.
Have you guys ever tried doing that? Like go for a hike and bring a book with you and like find a tree to lean on or something and read a book and then then take your reflective period then?
I've never not, because I tend to reflect a lot when I'm hiking anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just have
that's like
silence, no music or anything.
So I wanted to start doing that because Kelsey she's getting rollerblades soon, and I have the longboard, and I figured we just put some books in our backpack, and the trail that we go on it goes through the woods and stuff, and it's along the river and all that, and there's plenty of places that are like people like go do picnics and all these different things, bring hammocks and stuff, and I feel like it would be really nice to just like do that for 45 minutes, stop by the water, put down like a blanket or something, and then just like read for like 30 minutes and then continue. It's like a nice way to like rest your legs and everything, and then like I don't know, take a little meditation period.
Yeah. But by the way, you know what got me into reading recently?
Hmm.
Staring at a screen for 8 hours, watching numbers change. It's great for that.
Yeah, because you can only read, right? You're not allowed to.
Yeah, because I can only read. I can't have any electronics in there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd bring in the Switch and just fucking play Legend of Zelda for 8 hours.
I would also suggest that you I've had the best ideas I've ever had in my life before I had a smartphone while taking a dump.
So you're saying I should poop all the time?
When you're pooping, just don't bring your phone into the bathroom with you.
Oh, I tend not to because I can't anyway.
Oh well, yeah, for work at least.
Yeah,
Well,
he only poops at work.
Yeah.
You don't want to use. Yeah.
It's probably more because you poop for so much time.
I was gonna say I poop for a half hour or something plus. So I'm sitting there, I got nothing better to do, you know, other than think about life.
Yeah.
So,
Tim, in the chat, I posted a picture of the city that I live in. It's like a better idea of what Colorado looks like.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It definitely would be nice to visit at some point.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm slacking though because like there's still so much in Maine I haven't seen. Like I've been in Maine for 4 years now, and there's still so many things I need to do.
Dude,
me and Kelsey trying to be better at it.
I feel like I was in the Twilight Zone today. I took it. I didn't have my first stop on the midday run. So like basically I didn't have to. Where was the run again? I didn't have to go to Harris House, so I ended up going to another place. So the second stop first, and I took a different route, and there was construction that rerouted me again. And I ended up in this town where every house, like people were just dragging, like there was no bags of garbage. It was just heaps of garbage, like furniture, carpets, and it wasn't just like one or two houses. This is like every house in this town, just to the curb of their thing. And it wasn't just like they had stuff people were, like you could see people still dragging stuff to their curb. Like, what is happening? What, like, what the fuck? And then of course it was also really nice, beautiful, besides the garbage. But yeah, Maine is fucking a glorious state to just go random places. And
yeah, the cities are all very different too. Like Livermore Falls, probably the area you were in, because you're like going sort of towards Harris House. And
it was still
be kind of garbage, like run down and all that. But then if you keep going, it gets pretty. And like all the cities like have completely different vibes to them.
There's this one little town, I have to check on the map where it is. It's between two big lakes, and then like the town is all squished on a road that goes between this little land bridge, and then there's houses that are like right on the water on either side of the road. That's really pretty. Imagine there's problems with flooding and stuff like that, but I'm like, I would love to live in a place like that.
Yeah, I'm actually really content with Brunswick. Like, if I did stay in Maine to settle down in, I probably would consider living in Brunswick still. There's a lot of nice things to do here, a lot of nice views, a lot of nice stuff, and a lot of nice people, and it's very safe and probably has good schooling and all that stuff. Like, it's just overall good.
Yeah, you gotta be careful of them liberals though, Tim. Trying to brainwash your children.
Yeah. Me and Kelsey were kind of joking with everything going on in the world right now. We were like, we should, because we always wanted to visit New Zealand, and we were like, we should just move to New Zealand. Like, fuck America. Let's just go to fucking New Zealand. And then we looked it up just to see what it was like. And like apparently they have like some of the best schools in the whole fucking world. I didn't know that. And it's like if all the good shit, like the people are super nice. The English is actually their primary language. I didn't know that. They have I thought it was. I thought they. I don't know. I thought they
They
spoke
were
something else.
British
What did you think they spoke? Kiwi?
Well, they're they're called Kiwis. The people of the New Zealand are called
Yeah.
Kiwis. I love that. So-
Well, it was a British colony at one point, so yeah.
well, the primary people are. I might mispronounce this, but it's Maori. I think Maori. It's it's like T-O-T Maori, and it's like a tribal civilization that they were the ones that found New Zealand, and that's the secondary language, but they use English is the primary language of the island. It's like 96% English and then 4% Maori. People
because
don't
everyone's
don't
white.
force the
Everyone's-
language, but they do force the culture. Like if you're gonna move New Zealand, you better know the culture, but you don't have to learn the language.
But they're not all Maori people.
No, but
That's why the main language is English.
yeah, but I don't know, there's a lot of interesting things, and it's like, man, it's actually kind of tempting to just fucking move to New Zealand. There's only two things that sucks about it. One, it's expensive. Two, you can't really play video games because nothing's hosted over there. Like if you wanted to play an MMO, you don't
Well,
got
why
shit.
play video games?
You got nothing. Yeah,
Live in a beautiful place.
you would literally just live outside. You wouldn't play video games anymore. It's like, would you be able to quit video games to like you can play games, you just can't really play like MMOs or anything.
Yeah. And if you do play games, you have to get them delivered in USB sticks. Do you guys know about that or no?
No, I guess not.
In countries like New Zealand and Australia, the connection rate is sometimes so low that it's actually faster to ask someone to download it somewhere else and then have it delivered to you on a USB drive.
Yeah. Wow.
That's funny.
That's what I was saying. Like, there's no good signal because the closest thing to them is just Australia. So, and then another bad thing about New Zealand is, so it doesn't have hurricanes at all. Apparently, they've never had a hurricane, which I thought was kind of weird. Like, no typhoons.
They have typhoons.
No, they had no typhoons in New Zealand either. Yeah, which I thought was really weird. It is right on a fault line, so they do have hurricanes. I mean, sorry, earthquakes. Yeah, they don't have hurricanes, but they have hurricanes. No, they don't have hurricanes, typhoons, but they have everything else. They have earthquakes. They have. I think there's even like tornadoes at some point. They have floods. Floods is a really big one. Like there's all these different things that like we aren't in risk of over here. But and it's like it's out in the middle of nowhere. So like if something happened, you're just fucked because you're hours away. The only way to get anywhere is by plane, and by plane it's like 4 hours to Australia, I think. But yeah. But it's just like it's a nice island. It looks so tempting. We definitely want to visit there at some point.
I imagine it's kind of like Hawaii. It's like it's nice to visit, but you really don't want to live there because
but it's not America.
Yeah, their flag also sucks. But yeah, that's it.
Get a better flag. Maybe I'll think.
They almost had a better flag, but they decided not to.
What is their flag anyway?
It's basically the Australian flag.
Wait, I don't even know what the Australian flag is. Isn't it just like a flag with another flag inside of it?
Yeah, it's the. Give me a second. Let me pull up the Australian flag. Yeah, so the Australian flag is the Union Jack, the United Kingdom flag, up in the top left corner, and then it has the Southern Cross to the right of it, which is just like white stars. That's the Australian flag. The New Zealand flag is pretty much the same thing, except there are 2 less stars, and the stars are outlined in white but have red on the inside.
What would have been the cool version of their flag then?
Fucking give me a second. It's like a fancy spiral leaf that they have. The colors are really nice. Or I think one of them was like a mountain or something like that. It's really cool. They had like a flag referendum a few years ago.
Thanks for describing that to me, Tyler. Whatever.
I know, like you could have looked it up yourself.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to. I wanted you to describe it to me.
Yeah. You got it right though. Yeah, one of them's like a cool looking spiral. I'll just throw it in the chat. The other one's like it's supposed to represent a mountain. The other one's like a cool leaf. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, get the fucking. To save every image I fucking know to the computer. There we go. And that bottom middle.
That would have been so cool.
That is nice.
Yeah.
The
actually.
third one. I like the third one a lot. The third
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the last. Yeah, yeah. I think the third one's my favorite.
The bottom middle one is their current flag.
That's boring.
But yeah, they had some really cool fucking designs. And they could have went with that, but nope, they just went with their old flag, which is basically Australia's flag. And here I'll throw up a picture of Australia's flag too. I don't know if you keep these somewhere, Tim, and like you like link to them on Imager. I don't know your plan on that, but
So the other people that are maybe watching the podcast could be like, oh hey, that's what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, I could put it up.
Or like put a link in the description or something.
Yeah. Editing itself is actually quite easy. It wasn't as it didn't take me very long to learn how to like use Vegas Pro or anything. It's just like
don't download that. I don't trust that.
it's just like how well can you put things together and like tell a story and stuff like that. It's not necessarily how mechanically good you are at it. Like when it comes
How
to
well
programming,
can
you
you
better know how to program when it comes to like you need to know the mechanical parts of it. You can't
I've hit such a point actually in programming, and you can hit such a point where it isn't so much like that. You understand the paradigms and the theories behind it, and then you can program.
You've
Just-
unlocked all the
Yeah, but
secrets
then
of the
if you-
universe and you are a god now.
but
you,
then
you do need the first. You can't.
if you have a kid and you want them to start programming, you now need to start from scratch, and it's going to take years for them to get to that point. When it comes
Yes.
to editing, I literally could show Josh how to edit within 24 hours, and he'll
Yeah.
be back. He'll be up to par where I'm at, and then it's just up to his imagination.
Well, that's because you just need to unlock his paradigms.
Yeah.
You can learn it much faster if you do.
It's all paradigms, just different magnitudes of paradigms. That's the Australian flag, by the way.
It's so stupid.
What would you
Um,
recommend I do to destroy or to break the locks that bound me to my paradigms, Tyler?
Masturbate twice a day,
Oh, okay.
every day,
I've been doing it too much.
since the 6th grade. Oh.
you need to take it down a notch.
I broke the box. Oh, God.
I do kind of want to go back on the Machinima topic. I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on like what we should do, like how we. I still can't figure out how I want to execute it. And then, did you guys like the story that I kind of was going with?
I didn't.
Yes.
Well, I know the base story. I didn't read your.
Do you want
Your
me to?
script
Do you want me to go over my script real quick?
No,
Um,
yeah, I liked it. Next question. No, go ahead.
You can give it a read if you want.
I feel like I feel very unconfident about it because I get mixed opinions. Like when I told it to Kelsey, she was just like, "It's stupid." Like she had
So,
zero
Kelsey
interest.
thinks literally everything is stupid.
No, I did somewhat have a similar feeling, but I feel like it's a matter of execution.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
if you executed it right, it could be good. sort of
Yeah.
thing.
And I haven't even looked at this for a little bit, so I'm probably gonna think it's stupid. Like, I'm gonna be like, well, like
Well,
if
it
you
is
write
stupid
something,
if you were to
then like
portray
a
it
week
like
later, you're
that's
like,
no,
what's
it's
I
fine.
thinking? What was that?
Well, it's like
I think it could be. It inspires me to make something that would make it look good.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like, it could be done very poorly and be very campy, but that could also be part of the charm because it is kind of
Yeah.
like a
yeah.
cringy, like teenage, like, oh man, I'm writing a story about something awesome that happened in my life.
I feel like not having perfect quality would it, like basically it'd fit along with it. Like having the animations, everything be kind of like okay, mediocre.
Goofy.
Yeah.
yeah, I see if you hit the JoJo level of like goofiness and fucking just
Like it's overly serious in a goofy way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then it like becomes good. Like it's so bad that it's good sort of thing.
yeah.
That's
A
100%.
big-
That's what makes it very good. Also, the fact that it is also good. So don't you dare call JoJo bad again.
Look, man, the first like 10 episodes, man, could not get into it. After that, yeah, pretty.
The first thing I was just like, okay, this is just like I mean, I was into it, but it was very like, I'm trying to think of the way to describe it.
It's an older anime.
It felt old school. It felt like a classic thing that I wasn't like. It felt like something I've seen before. Right? Is that what you would say, Tyler?
Man, I don't know. I also wasn't fully paying attention to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like if that's what it was going to be for the rest of the show, I would not be still watching it.
Yeah.
But
Continue
it
with
needed to be that to be where it is now. I'll shut up now. Okay,
So
go
yeah,
ahead.
so I personally have three inspirations when it comes to things that like I've gotten my ideas off of, like that I look up to, I guess. One is obviously Red versus Blue.
Yep.
They
that's the classic
amazing,
Machinima.
classic. Another is Nixium's Machinima, but less because of his Machinima, more because of Nixium. He's just inspired me to do a lot of things and whatnot. So I went back and watched his Machinima because I liked him as a person. So therefore, when I watched his Machinima, I probably liked it more than I would have if I just ran across it randomly. And the third isn't a Machinima, but it's Duralius and Associates. Like, if I could combine the three of those, if I can combine those three styles, I would be so happy.
I would love some Duralius and Associates inspiration there. I love that shit.
So I have a base idea of a first script that I'm about to go over, and that's based on my character. I don't know if I would call him Feeble Turtle or if we would make new characters, but I would imagine, like if I was taking the inspiration from Nixium's thing, his main character is called Nixium, and it kind of like represents like a darker side of himself, and it's easier to create a character if it's based off yourself. And this character is based off myself because he lives my story, my video game life.
Very very epic story.
Yeah. And then I also had two character ideas for Tyler and for Steve. I kind of mentioned Tyler, but I thought of his already. And then I had three like side characters, and the side characters are all pulled from the previous podcast. So like I was thinking, if we continue to do podcasts, or if we start like a D&D campaign, we could pull character ideas from these podcasts and campaigns to add to the machinima or animation, whatever we end up doing. Do you guys like that idea?
Yeah, I mean, like that's where I imagine this fruit comes from. I imagine everything's based on D&D.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
so,
yeah.
So the script that I did, it was like I imagined. Okay, so I put down scenic entrance. You can hear like the killing of monsters, and I imagined like in Rohan, like you just like the screen is just panning across. And Rohan is my first game that I started on, so I imagine I would use that if I did a machinima. I would use that as the first game. And then it zooms in on Turtle killing some monsters, and then he gets a guild message, and it's like, "Help! PKers are on the prowl."
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, the way I imagine the scene opening is actually like you're in a dungeon, and there's a bunch of the things that I drew.
Versus, oh no, the web crawlers.
Yeah, the web crawlers. So
Okay.
like fight, they're coming for you, and
Yeah.
then you just wipe them out as you get the message.
So the web crawlers, that's definitely one of the side characters that I would definitely have in it.
The main reason I wanted to do it because I wanted to draw their backsides. I wanted to draw their butts.
Okay, well, okay, that works. That works for my.
Hair with like a butt
That works-
sticking out like a band.
That works perfectly
Okay.
for my
I
image.
drew it as like a little bulbous booty, just.
So that
Not
works.
a bamboo.
That works perfectly
Toxic
for what I was thinking with the web crawlers. So the web crawlers, I'm sure you already know, are the things that Steve drew for the last podcast, for the first podcast's image, and whatchamacallit. So the web crawlers, I definitely want to have in there as like a critter that's just like an ongoing thing. And I don't know if they're gonna be just really really fucking annoying or what, but they're definitely gonna be in there. The way that I imagine introducing them is like you're with a buddy. And it's like two characters. I don't know which characters it would be, but you're entering a cave, right? And then you look up at one of the corners of the cave, and there's like a spider web, and there's like a thing there, and then you're like trying to get better to look at it, and then I guess you see its butt, and then it just turns around slowly at you and jumps on your face.
Just the face. Ah!
Does it do want to jump on you? Does it like try and make out with you, or
I don't. We'd have to figure that out. I don't know.
Hump you or something. I don't know.
it tries to blow snot into your mouth or some shit, like something gross like that?
So yeah, so Turtle gets a guild message saying help the PKers on the prowl, and then he responds to it and he kills the dude. Because I used to be a guild leader and I used to be a part of PK police, so I basically murder anyone that's a murderer. And
But then
then
shouldn't you be murdered by another murderer who says that he's murdering for the sake of
PK,
justice?
PK police.
yeah, that's very fan.
Or the
Yeah,
I wish I had thought of that way back then and made a guild called the PKPK Police.
so I kill the guy, and then I get a guild message. Thank you, sir. You always have our backs. And then he says something that foreshadows something about me becoming a toxic player. And then I get a whisper from Brad. Yes, Brad's character name is just going to be Brad. And it's like, hey man, I found this fun game called League of Legends. You should totally try it out with
His
me.
name is like Unlovable Douche. And you're like,
No, it's
gotta be honest here.
now
Guy who can't
after I've
read.
done this script, I started working on a second script for a different character, and I think it was too dumb. I really think it was too dumb. I'll ask you guys about it after this, but so Brad's like, hey man, I found this game called League of Legends. It's really fun. You should try it out. It's like, all right, cool. And it shows my character, like, so it shows whatever game I'm currently in, or no, on the left side, it just says MMO community. And then it shows my current character's avatar walking away from it and then towards League of Legends. So I literally just leave the MMO community and I go towards League of Legends is how I imagined it. And then like this portal sound comes off, or like a pop sound or something, and it shows my character in League. And it's a different character avatar. He recognizes that. And then he looks up, and I was thinking like maybe Garen or something. He has a sword. And he looks up, and he sees some minions. And he's like, oh, okay. And he goes over, he starts killing minions. He's killing monsters like he does in his other game. He's like, oh, this feels familiar. He's getting experience, leveling up and stuff. And then some enemy noob enters the scene, and he calls me names and starts cursing at me. And then just like he did with the
I was gonna say, and I imagine this scene is like he's in the distance, and you're just like trying to see something. He's like a speck in the distance, and you're just like, huh, who's that guy over there? And he just starts jumping up his eyes like, fuck you!
Yeah. Yeah, so he runs over to me, calls me names, whatever.
No, fuck you!
And I just kill him. Just like I did with the PK Police. Like, it's just like, it's the same thing, different game. But then the difference is I become stronger. Like, that doesn't happen in MMORPGs. You don't just become stronger from killing players. You just get rid of them. In League, you become stronger, they get weaker. So this annoying noob comes back, and I go to kill him again, but this time I one-shot him. And I get stronger again. And then I feel empowered, fire goes in my eyes, and I'm just like, this feels incredible! Like an anime. And then it shows a time lapse of me just getting years going by. I played the game for fucking 10 years, so it's just like a time lapse, whatever, of me just like killing people and getting stronger, and just like my head's getting bigger, whatever. And then it brings you to a scene where I'm still in League. I have allies on my team, and all my allies are just like, hey, look how big my dick is. It's like, I don't care about your dick. Look at my dick. I have the biggest dick. And they're just like waving their dicks around, and they're literally knocking each other out with their dicks and throwing salt on their faces and whatnot. And then like 2 seconds later, it like does a pan out, a zoom, it pans out, and it shows all of my allies are knocked out. The enemies haven't touched them. They all fucking knocked each other out with each other's dicks. And the enemy just walks.
How I want to
the enemy team just walks over top of our bodies,
That's how my
and just
paradigm opened.
they walk over top of our bodies, and they just touch the Nexus and they win, because that's League. And then I hear a voice, it's like a whispering in my ear, telling me how I've dishonored my family and that I need to come home. And then I realize, what have I done with my life? The last 10 years I've been playing League of Legends. I don't even enjoy this game. You
just look and it's actually like the Asian DLC for whatever game. For like the expansion.
So
you have dishonored your family.
So I returned to the MMO community. But now that I'm back home, I now have League PTSD. Is what I'm officially diagnosed with. And I was thinking I would use Final Fantasy XIV when I come back, because I'm getting a Dark Knight. I finally freaking unlocked the quest to unlock Dark Knight after 75 hours of playing the game, by the way. So I literally...
Is it actually 75?
Yes, 75 hours on Steam says. So let me rephrase that. When I first wanted to play Final Fantasy Online, the class I wanted to play was Dark Knight. You unlock Dark Knight after completing the base game and starting the first expansion. You can skip that if you want to. But people are like, oh, no, the storyline's good. Do the first base game. Don't skip it. You can skip it with real money. And they're like, it doesn't take too long. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll play it. 75 hours later of just clicking on dialogue and teleporting over and over and over and over and over again for 75 hours, I now completed the base game and unlocked the Dark Knight. And I'm going to make a YouTube video on that because it pissed me off. Whoever says to not skip it is a fucking liar. Skip that shit.
So-
The game
so
gets good
basically-
after the base game. There's a reason that Final Fantasy was a complete failure when it first came out before they had DLC into the game. It was bad.
So what you're telling me is that they actually give you they have an incentive to make their story not fun to live through because they want you to pay to not have to play their content.
They failed. The Final Fantasy 14 Online was a complete epic failure, and then they changed their lead, and then they basically fixed the game with their DLC. They revamped some of their original thing, and then they fixed it with their DLC. And the DLC apparently is amazing, absolutely amazing.
Is it free before you skip it?
The game costs, it's a monthly subscription to play Final Fantasy 14.
You had to pay a monthly
Yes.
subscription and then pay another fee
Yes.
to skip part of the game.
And you have to buy every expansion.
That sucks.
And you have to buy every expansion.
What?
Yeah. This is why it has taken me so long to get into Final Fantasy 14, by the way. And 75 hours in, I am finally beginning. Yay.
That makes me so angry.
But I can make YouTube content out of it. Haha.
What about the 75 hours?
The boss fights are epic though. Like even what I've done so far, the boss fights are absolutely epic. So I do see why people like the fights and stuff like that. But the storyline up to this
but
point's been pretty mediocre.
That was kind of your point, though. Like people being nice to you and shit. And
Yeah. I got into the game and
what do you
people.
want from me?
People were really nice. Like it was one of the first sort of harder bosses, but he was really easy. Like if you compare him to any other boss in the game, super fucking easy. It was just like the first one you actually had mechanics you had to worry about a little bit. And you were like on this pillar, and he knocked you off the pillar, and if he knocked you off, you were dead, and you couldn't get revived because your body's too far away to get revived. And there's only 4 of you, so if one of you got knocked off, you're pretty much going to lose the fight. And we lost 4 times. We won on the 5th one. And every time we lost, everyone was just like, oh, don't worry, we get on the next one. And then, like, the next one we lost immediately. And then, like, oh, no, don't worry, we get on the next one. And, like, everyone's so positive and, like, motivating each other. And then it's like, yeah, good game. See, I knew we'd do it, guys. I believe in you the whole time. And, like, everyone's just being positive. And I'm thinking they're being sarcastic because fucking League people aren't positive. Like, if they are positive, they're being sarcastic. But, yeah, the community in Final Fantasy XIV is extremely positive.
Maybe I was built for that community, because whenever I play a game, I'm feeling like everything is great, going fine. Especially in League, when we're fucking losing hard.
It almost makes me want to be the bad guy though, because no one's being the bad guy. Like it feels like you need a bad guy.
You do have League PTSD.
Yeah. So I was thinking that when I returned to the MMO community, I have League PSD and I look like an emo dude from Final Fantasy XIV, my Dark Knight. I'm met by an incredibly positive group of people, and I suspect they're being sarcastic, and I treat them as, like so. They invite me to the guild anyway, but I decline it because I feel disgraceful, and that voice comes in my head about dishonoring my family, and I need to earn my what did I say? Determined to play as a solo player in search of finding honor to redeem his wrongdoings. So yeah, that was the first draft of my character, and that basically sums up my video game life.
I just imagine like there'll be scenes after that of you like slapping monsters, slapping yourself, crying.
Yeah.
That's your life.
The thing that got me started with thinking of this Machinima was the fact of I play MMOs as a solo player, and I asked myself like why is that? Because I used to be a guild leader. I used to be a very heavily community impacted player, and now I only play by myself. And like I had to really think about it, and it's like League broke me. League definitely fucking broke me.
Yeah, like monsters and PKers see you doing this, like slapping the monsters and slapping yourself and crying, and they just leave you alone or get confused and don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just how I imagine growing that out.
So the side characters I had so far was in the first podcast, Steve did a voice of a guy who doesn't let anyone take his own ideas.
So it's mine for the next 70 years, and no one else can think what I think. Or has to buy it from me. I don't know what it was.
I forget, but I had the timestamp for that, and it could be like a merchant. I was thinking it'd be like a merchant dude, and he doesn't like anyone else selling his products, even if it's like a fucking something that everyone would sell. And and then another character.
Go back and edit in the sound of the character for the podcast so people can hear it over my voice saying the wrong probably impression of it.
Okay.
But then leave this part in.
Okay. And then another side character was the unknown hero, the one that Tyler has pictures of in his closet but doesn't know who it was. That created the Lodi thing.
Oh, the guy, the fucking refresh guy.
Yeah, the refresh
Ah.
guy.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to draw a superhero man with just like a refresh, the refresh image head. 'Cause
But-
that what it
man.
is?
But nobody
But
knows
that
who he is.
guy's a national hero. Think of how many times you did that in the past week.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's true.
He is.
At least
Every
once.
time, Tyler, I want you to know, every time that happens, I think of him.
Yes, every single time I'm like Captain Planet in the back of my head, but it's the refresh guy. Yeah.
The third side character obviously is going to be the web crawler. It's going to be one of the monsters in the show. And then the two characters I was thinking for you guys. Tyler's character refuses to do anything simply. Like he can never just do anything the easy way or straight up. He's always got to come up with some complex like plan or whatever or systematic thing to get it done because it's quote unquote more efficient. I guess that might not be the right word because that kind of leads towards Steve's character too, being efficient. But
So-
like the whole thing where you
Well,
explained
it is more efficient in the long run.
yeah,
Technically.
like when you were explaining your web crawler system, like not the monster, but the system of the web crawler, and I like it was this huge, complicated process that you went through just to do like a web search, and I was like,
Or at least the
couldn't you have
explanation made
just
it sound complicated.
Googled it, and like
Can't Google that shit.
let's say you literally could Google something, that character wouldn't do it. He would create the web crawler every time. So like
That
that,
sounds a little extreme. I mean, like I did Google it first. I just
but that's what I
didn't like the
imagined.
results.
And you're
That's what I
like, this
imagined
is
you.
too hard.
That's what I imagined your character being.
You're from an outside perspective, Tyler. Your description made it sound like you could just simply look
Yeah.
these things up,
Yeah,
and
that's
you're
what it
like,
sounded
no,
like.
I'm gonna make something do it for me, so I never have to do it again.
So, if you like that idea, we can expand on it. If not, we can.
Which makes sense, but like making a character that's a little irrational about it is funnier.
yeah. I mean, like
Yeah.
that web crawler scanned the tens of thousands of web pages and got statistics on all that shit.
Yeah,
You can't really do that with Google.
but I feel like it would be a funny character just to
Yeah,
always do that kind of shit.
No, I'm still defending my decision.
If
I'm not.
if
Like-
you
like,
if
I
you
just
had-
imagine-
go ahead and defend it as much as you want,
Okay.
Tyler. But if you had explained it better,
So
we wouldn't have this character now.
I'll give an example on both you guys' characters, like a scene. So like, if Tyler's character was like in classic WoW, and he had to like, so I was thinking this whole thing would be like Kingdom Hearts, but with video games where you're jumping between the different worlds. So that's why I'm naming different games. I forgot to mention that. I don't know if that's something that you guys think is a good idea or not. If it should be like the whole Kingdom Hearts thing, or if we should just stick to one world or whatever. But
I like
so-
the idea of things being incredibly inconsistent.
okay, cool,
Yes.
sweet. So we do that.
So we don't get stuck with something that sucks and be like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. So Tyler's character, I just imagine him like being in World of Warcraft and like being in the starter dwarf area or whatever. I just imagine this in the snowy mountain area because it's pretty. And the first thing you have to kill was I think it was wolves, and so like I get in there with Tyler. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you go kill these guys. I've already done that. I'm going to move on. I'll come back for you type of thing. I'm going to get us some bags and stuff like that. I'm going to go to Iron Forge and pick up my crafting skills and stuff, and I'll be back. He's like, all right, sounds good. So I do this long trip. It takes like 45 minutes to an hour if you're doing this in the game to go all the way there and get back. And I come back, and Tyler's got this whole complicated system of like ropes and gears and things like that. That's like holding a sword above a wolf that's like tied to a branch, it's tied to a thing, and he pulls a lever and the sword falls in the wolf's face. So the whole time I was gone, he killed one wolf in a very systematic, complex way.
I just imagine him building like a fucking machine that basically vacuums up the wolves, spits them off into a wall of fucking brambles or something. And Tyler just standing by going, yep, there's some experience for me.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, like-
that could work.
In kind of a weird way, that is actually how I do things in real life.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when I'm like, oh, I'm going to do the dishes. Like, I have a system that I go by to like make sure that certain things are done when I'm doing the dishes.
Yeah.
Like I'll
Yeah.
put things in certain places and like I'll do things in a certain order just to make sure that like it's actually for like the idea of not thinking, to where I just do a task and it gets done.
Yeah. I imagine that.
without-
And
I'm-
the rational part of the machine, by the way, would be the fact that he spent all this time to build this massive machine that does this one thing to kill these wolves that he only needed to be here for about 10 minutes to do.
Yeah.
That's
But now I can kill more wolves faster.
right. But you don't need to kill wolves for more than 10 minutes. So now you gotta disassemble the machine and move it to the next zone.
Well, then I can tell other people about how to kill the wolves with the machine.
True.
I just imagine like once he has this thing built, he's literally just like he's sitting there. He doesn't have to control it anymore. He's just sitting there and he's like I don't know, reading a book or eating a kebab or whatever. And like you just see a wolf flying in the background, just whining, and just like flying past his head.
I imagine it being like a pulley system where like a wolf steps on a trap, and then like it flings it off into the air and like
1 point.
Yeah.
Yoinks it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the idea I had for your character. And I like the idea of them kind of being based off ourselves, but then over exaggerated because it's something we can definitely start to work on.
So you're gonna make mine super muscular, right?
Yes, definitely.
I'm the muscular one of this.
I thought you were a girl named Rika.
What?
You're Rika Hart.
Oh.
No, we're not gonna do that.
I want to draw Tyler as a girl. God damn it!
And okay, so Steve's character has to do everything efficiently. So like, let's say he wants to become a farmer.
Can you just make his character always in his fucking menu? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I laughed so loud.
I gotta figure out this efficient way to do this. I'll be in my menu for the next.
These two it's slightly different stats. I have to stop and look and see which one I want.
Yeah, so that could be something he does. And I just imagine it's just like, all right, so I came back from Ironforge. Tyler finished doing his pulley system, and he caught up to my level, whatever. And so Steve's in the game, but he wants to go. He's going to take care of the food for us. That way we have supplies for the journey because the next part of the journey is going to be a long one. So he's like, all right, I'm going to start the farming process, and I'm going to get us some potatoes, right? I'm gonna do potatoes, and in the game you can do potatoes much quicker than you can in real life. It's not going to take months to do this or anything like that. However, the way Steve is, he's got to do it efficiently. So like he starts the potatoes, and then he looks at it, he's like, oh no, this is all wrong. He picks them all up and he has to redo it, and he does it a different way. And he's just like, he keeps restarting over and over and over again because each way is more efficient than the way before. But instead of just letting the fucking potatoes fucking grow, he's got to keep fucking restarting over and over and over
I've
again.
never seen one grown potato.
So we come back.
But I can grow potatoes so efficiently.
Yeah, exactly. So we
Oh
come
my
back.
God.
We come back to check on him, and he's like still working on his first potato.
It's why I have 700 hours of game time in like Warhammer, for
Yep.
example, the Total War, and I fucking have finished like 2 games.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of those characters?
I finished just as many games as you, Steve. Played maybe at the time.
Yeah, well, you have this weird well, I guess not weird, maybe this normal like completing a game kind of thing. I don't get joy from that. I get joy from constantly starting over and getting better.
I like.
Oh wait, I did better.
I like beating the shit out of AI that's on easy. That's what I
yeah.
like doing.
You just auto ever battle.
Yeah. Where I get so
You
good at
never
it.
even have to use your SSD.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of those two characters?
I mean, obviously, I like them laughing at it.
Okay.
I would also like the idea because Steve, whenever I play a game with him,
The menu thing is great.
the menu thing,
Yeah.
it's just because you take a like longer to make a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my brain is just like, okay, I am going for this right now. The second I level up, I'm going to open up that menu, click on that button that goes towards what I want, and that's going to be it. But you take the careful decision of like weighing the options and writing like a pros and fucking cons thing and like building a PowerPoint presentation
Yeah.
to fucking figure out, what is the best option.
And like, oh, wait, but this, I might be able to keep this for later and then upgrade it into something better and then not. But if I could sell it, but no, I want to keep it. I'll keep it, and then my
You
inventory's
would make
full
a
all the
good
time.
programmer if you learned. Just saying, because just being able to consider all the options like that.
Yeah, probably.
So I imagined like this kind of happening in Classic WoW for some reason. This is where my brain went when it came to like these situations, these scenarios. I wanted to do a YouTube video for Classic WoW. Because a lot of my YouTubers I like are actually WoW YouTubers, even though I don't play WoW. But I like the idea of classics. I was like, I think I might do like some kind of video on it. I was thinking what I should do, and I was like, maybe I should do like a WoW leveling challenge where I refuse to quest. I won't do any quests whatsoever. And I was thinking of like how to do it, and I could do it like everyone else does it and just record myself playing the game without doing quests. But I was like, I was just working on machinimas before that, working on like machinima ideas before that. So my brain immediately wants to do some kind of role play and make a character out of it. And something that is a thing like before Classic WoW came out about a year ago. I think it's already been a year by now. It's been 15 years since people have played that version of the game. So while people are like 100% sure that they remember things, your brain doesn't work that way. Like your brain can't actually remember things exactly from 15 years ago. So a lot of the things that people were 100% sure about, they were wrong. Like it didn't actually work that way. And they didn't find out they were wrong until Classic came out and they found out they were wrong. So I was thinking about making a dwarf character that that basically was one of those people that's like he knows, he's a veteran and he knows what the fuck he's talking about, even though he's actually wrong, but he's too stubborn to ever admit it. And I was gonna make him basically think that quests were useless, it's a waste of your time, and killing monsters is the way to go, type of thing. And that's how I was gonna do the leveling challenge. And I was gonna his name. So I definitely would need to, I think, fix the name a little bit because it doesn't work completely. But what I was going for was he calls himself Thomas Stewborn, and he's like almighty about it. And then when you look at his name, it's literally the most stubborn.
Oh,
But,
ha ha ha.
yeah, and so he goes up to the first NPC. He gets into the game and he like looks over at those wolves, the ones that Tyler systematically killed, and he's like, oh, I remember this. And then he goes over, he starts murdering them. He's like, ha, these good old days. I'm gonna get max level in no time. And then you have the first NPC that you have to talk to, and he's like, imagine him being like a hippie dude, like super chill, just doesn't give a fuck. It's like, hey man, or like, it does like the hippie voice. Like I can't do voices. I want to do machinima, but can't do voices.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. He's like
Some
yelling.
hippies talk like that.
He's like, dude, and he's like, don't you want this quest over here? And Mr. Stewborn goes over, and he's like, what are you talking about? I don't need any quests. I'm a veteran. He's being all high and mighty and all. And he's like, I am Thomas Stewborn, and then he looks up and he's like, doesn't that say the most? And he's like, don't you dare interrupt me. I know what you know. And he's like, he's got that personality that he's just like always right type of thing. And like that's as much as I came up with that. And that was the one that I was like, is it too stupid? Is that a really dumb character? I don't know.
I think when he offers you the quest, you just spit in his face.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I think we are over an hour. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah. What was it? I don't know if we do an outro. I also just remembered something from the intro.
Okay.
Or what I wanted to do for an intro if we introduced ourselves. I thought it'd be funny is if every podcast episode we introduced it as the last episode because we were out of material for that the next episode.
Yeah.
But
how do we go about doing that?
I don't know. I always thought like, welcome to the second and final episode.
Bye forever. This should be their outro.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, we'll come back with like the next episode.
Okay. We can do that if you want to.
Man, I really wish we could continue this podcast, but see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also create an imaginary character who is always here, but never talks. Yeah,
His name would be Connor.
Yeah, it would be Connor.
Can we call him Bobson Dognut?
Bobson Dugnut.
Yeah, cause
Yeah, that works. And like, what do you think about that? What do you think about that, Bobson?
Bobson.
Imagine that being like a news
Mr.
reporter.
Dugnut would like to.
That's it over here. Now on to you, Bobson Dugnut. Like it sounds like a fucking newscast person.
Yeah, I think it was from I believe it was from like a Japanese video game.
Yeah, it was a Japanese baseball game trying to emulate American names.
Yeah.
I found it today when I was pooping. I said it to Connor, and he's like, "I've been found out."
He posted it in chat, and that's when he changed it. Yeah.
Really? I don't remember that shit. Okay. Yeah, I'll put here. I'll put it in the fucking thing right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can probably honestly edit all those little bits we just did for an intro and for an outro. And I'll probably cut out the Thomas Stewborn part. It's stupid.
No, I like it. What are you talking about? I just said I like it. Fuck you. My opinion not matter to you? I see how it is.
I don't know how to feel about the character.
It depends if you can do more with it, because it's just like it's fun to talk about,
Yeah.
and like you probably just leave it in the podcast. But if you are actually going to do anything with it, then you could probably leave it. I mean, like, just leave it in. Fuck it.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's just a fucking character. People create characters all the time.
Yeah.
And who knows if some random person that happens to have some talent wanders into our podcast and hears them, might go, "Huh, I'm inspired," and make something out of it.
Yeah.
Or they'll go, "That's stupid. You're stupid, and I hate you."
That's probably what's
It's
going to happen.
still weird how we have never really said our names on this podcast.
I've called you like 6 different names before, and we've all said each other's names to each other.
I think we have.
Yeah. Well, I'd be like,
People will figure it out.
We didn't introduce ourselves, though.
There's plenty of podcasts out there that don't introduce themselves, and you figure it out.
Isn't
I
that
guess
right?
so.
Isn't that right, Bobson Dugnut?
Yeah, he's shaking his head.
We have to give moments of silence when Robson is talking. He's very shy.
I would love it if, like, in like the white noise or whatever the fuck it is in between speaking, like, it's very, very soft, like someone talking.
It's just hold on, quiet for a second. Just. Did you hear that?
I heard.
Yeah, just.
Yeah.
I was trying to be as quiet as possible with the mic is really close to my mouth. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like put your mouth around the mic and give it a deep chill.
I completely agree with you.
I wish Connor was in this podcast, but he's too
He is.
professional. Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's always here.
it's true.
All right.
Bye forever.